Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the moments when life feels like it's crushing you, the heartbreaks, the failures, the moments of despair, are actually the moments that are shaping your greatest strength? What if I told you that the cracks in your life, the pain you're trying to escape, are not your weakness, they are the doorway to your most extraordinary self? Tonight, I want to show you why being broken is not the end of your story, but the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that life is not a straight path. Imagine that life is more like a storm at sea. Sometimes the waves are gentle, the sun is shining, and everything seems simple, but then, without warning, the storm comes. The winds howl, the rain lashes against your face, the waves rise higher than you thought possible, and suddenly you feel like life is breaking you. And when that moment comes, most people panic. Most people surrender. Most people ask, why me? But here's the thing, life doesn't break you because it hates you. Life breaks you because it believes in you. Every setback, every heartbreak, every failure is not a punishment. It is a lesson, it is a test, and the most important question is not, why is this happening to me? The question is, what am I going to do now? Think about a seed buried in the soil. From the outside it looks helpless, it's trapped, it's dark, and yet inside that darkness something extraordinary is happening. The seed is breaking open, the seed is fighting against the weight of the earth, it is stretching, pushing, and struggling to reach the light. And when it finally emerges, it is no longer just a seed, it has become something stronger, something resilient, something alive. That is what happens when life breaks you. It forces you to grow, even when growth feels impossible. Here's what most people don't understand. Resilience is not built when everything is easy. Character is not forged when the sun is shining and the path is clear. Resilience, strength, and courage are born in the fire. They are born in the moments when you feel like you cannot go on. They are born when life tests you, challenges you, and pushes you to the edge. And here is the most important thing, when life breaks you, it is also giving you an opportunity. An opportunity to redefine who you are. An opportunity to rebuild yourself, stronger than before. An opportunity to discover what you are truly capable of. You see, pain is not the enemy, fear is not the enemy, doubt is not the enemy. The real enemy is staying small, staying stuck, refusing to step into the unknown. When you feel broken, you have a choice. You can let the storm define you, or you can let it refine you. You can let the cracks in your life weaken you, or you can let them become the places where light gets in. The moment you realize that the broken pieces of your life are not the end, but the beginning, is the moment you step into power. And remember this, nobody succeeds alone. Nobody overcomes life's storms without support, without community, without connection. It's in reaching out, in asking for help, in sharing your story, that you find the strength to rise again. Courage is contagious, hope is contagious, and when you rise after being broken, you not only transform yourself, you inspire others to rise as well. So the next time life breaks you, don't run from it, don't fight against it, lean into it, listen to what it is teaching you. Trust that the cracks are not the end of your story, they are the start of something greater. And when you emerge on the other side, battered but unbroken, bruised but wiser, you will see that what you once thought was the end was really the beginning of your greatest chapter. When life breaks you, it forces a choice between staying in the shadow of your pain or stepping into the light of your potential. And that choice is never easy. There is no map for the broken moments. There is no guidebook that tells you how to rebuild when everything around you seems to have fallen apart. But here's the truth. The very act of choosing to rise, even when it feels impossible, is the spark that ignites transformation. It is the moment you claim ownership over your story, even if your story has been rewritten without your consent. Consider for a moment the people we admire most, the leaders, the innovators, the people who seem unstoppable. Every single one of them has been broken at some point. They have felt despair, doubt, and fear. And yet, what separates them is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to respond differently, to see failure not as an end, but as a teacher. Life's breaking points are not obstacles to avoid. They are the crucibles that reveal who we truly are. When the storm comes, many people look for comfort, for certainty, for safety. And yes, seeking shelter is natural, but real growth does not happen in safety. Real growth happens when you step into the storm with courage, when you confront the uncertainty, when you allow yourself to feel the discomfort fully and let it teach you. Every setback, every disappointment, every heartbreak is a teacher in disguise. It shows you your limits, but more importantly, it shows you that your limits are not permanent. They are just the starting point for what comes next. And here's something vital to remember. Being broken does not mean being weak. Being broken means being human. It means that you care, that you try, that you engage fully with life. Strength is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to keep moving forward despite it. The cracks in your life are not scars of failure. They are proof that you dared, that you loved, that you risked. And in those very cracks, light begins to seep in. In those very cracks, resilience is born. When life breaks you, the world might look different. The people you trusted may let you down. The plans you made may fall apart. The certainty you relied on may disappear. And that is terrifying. But here's the paradox. In that moment of collapse, you gain clarity. You gain perspective. You start to see what truly matters. You start to see the strength you didn't know you had. You start to see that the life you thought you needed may not have been the life you were meant to live. You see, there is a difference between surviving and thriving. Surviving is getting through the day, putting one foot in front of the other, hoping the pain will fade. Thriving is using the pain to fuel your purpose, to clarify your vision, to light a fire under your dreams. Thriving is understanding that life breaking you is not the end of the story. It is the prologue to a new chapter, a chapter in which you are not defined by what happened to you, but by how you responded, and this is where courage becomes essential. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite fear. Courage is standing in the ruins of what you thought your life would be and saying, I will rebuild, I will rise, I will create something better. Courage is showing up day after day to the life you are called to live, even when it feels like the world is against you. Finally, when life breaks you, do not underestimate the power of connection. It is in the relationships you nurture, the communities you build, and the people you allow to walk with you that you find strength. There is nothing more powerful than standing with someone who has also been broken, because in their eyes you see your own possibility reflected back. In lifting others, you lift yourself. In sharing your story, you remind yourself that you are not alone, and that is one of the greatest truths of all. Every crack, every fracture, every moment of despair is an invitation to rise higher, to go further, to dream bigger. When life breaks you, it is not destroying you. It is demanding that you evolve, that you transform, and that you step fully into the extraordinary potential that has always been within you. And when life breaks you, something remarkable happens. You begin to understand the true nature of your strength. Not the strength that comes from winning or succeeding, but the strength that comes from enduring, the strength that comes from showing up when it would be easier to walk away. The strength that comes from saying yes to life, even when life feels unbearable. It is in those moments when you feel weakest that you are actually discovering who you are at your core. Because true strength is not measured by how little you fall, it is measured by how often you rise. Think about it. The most inspiring people you've ever met were once broken. They were once lost. They were once uncertain of whether they could survive the next day. But they chose to rise anyway. They chose to act in spite of fear. They chose to embrace the unknown rather than hide from it. And in doing so, they became proof that resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we cultivate, step by step, failure by failure, heartbreak by heartbreak. And here is the secret that most people never realize. When life breaks you, it is not taking from you. It is giving to you. It is giving you clarity. It is giving you perspective. It is stripping away the noise, the distractions, the illusions that make life feel safe but leave you unfulfilled. The moment you are broken, the illusion of control disappears, and with it comes the chance to rebuild intentionally. You are no longer bound by expectation, by fear of judgment, or by the need to conform. You are free to define your own path, to create your own meaning, and to live your life on your own terms. And yet, freedom comes with responsibility. You cannot simply wait for life to stop breaking you. You cannot simply hope that the pain will fade. You must engage with it. You must wrestle with it. You must confront it and ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because every challenge, every setback, every devastating moment contains a lesson, and that lesson is yours to uncover. The more you seek it, the more you understand it. The more you grow, and growth is the antidote to suffering. It is in brokenness that we discover empathy. When you have been broken, you understand the pain of others in a way that the untested never can. You see the struggle behind the smiles, the fear behind the confidence, the tears behind the laughter. Brokenness makes us human, and humanity connects us in ways that success never can. It allows us to reach out, to lift others, to offer support and guidance, and in doing so, it completes the circle of resilience. You rise not only for yourself, but for those who will follow, those who will need your story as proof that they too can survive, endure, and ultimately thrive. And so, when life breaks you, it is also inviting you to create something new. To rebuild, yes, but not simply to return to what you were before. To rebuild stronger, to rebuild wiser, to rebuild with intention. The broken moments are the workshop of the soul, the crucible of character, and the birthplace of vision. Every fracture in your life is a doorway to possibility. Every scar a roadmap of lessons learned. Every tear a signal that your heart is still beating, still feeling, still capable of love, passion, and purpose. And here is the most profound truth of all. You are never truly broken unless you choose to remain that way. Life may bend you, twist you, and even shatter you, but the power to rise, to heal, and to transform has always been within you. It is the part of you that refuses to give up, that refuses to settle, that refuses to let circumstance define your destiny. That part of you is indestructible, that part of you is limitless, that part of you is waiting, waiting for you to claim it, to embrace it, to let it guide you toward the life you were meant to live. So when the storm comes, when the darkness surrounds you, when every part of you feels broken, remember this: the cracks are not weaknesses. They are entrances, they are opportunities, they are evidence that something new is trying to emerge through you, something stronger, something wiser, something greater than you were before. And if you choose to step into that emergence, to walk through the pain rather than around it, to transform suffering into purpose, then the story of your brokenness will become the story of your greatest triumph. And when you step into that emergence, something transformative begins to happen. You start to see life not as a series of obstacles designed to defeat you, but as a series of opportunities designed to reveal you. Each broken moment becomes a mirror, reflecting not what you have lost, but what you still possess. Your courage, your resilience, your capacity to love, to dream, to create. You realize that life does not break you to punish you. It breaks you to prepare you, to sharpen you, to align you with the person you were always meant to be. Think about the power of perspective. When you are broken, it is easy to see only the darkness, only the chaos, only the despair. But perspective is what allows you to step back and see that the storm is temporary, that the pain is not permanent, that your story is still unfolding. Perspective is what allows you to see that every moment of suffering has value, every setback carries insight, and every failure is a stepping stone toward something greater. And once you gain that perspective, you begin to understand that the brokenness was never the end. It was the beginning of something far bigger than you could have imagined. And here is where purpose emerges. Purpose does not come when everything is easy. Purpose comes when life has pushed you to the edge and forced you to ask the hardest questions. Who am I? What do I stand for? What am I willing to fight for even when the world feels against me? Brokenness is not just a test of endurance, it is an invitation to discover meaning. And when you connect with that meaning, when you allow purpose to guide you, suddenly the pain becomes fuel. It becomes energy. It becomes the very force that propels you forward, that turns fear into courage, doubt into clarity, and despair into determination. And here is the paradox. The very moments that feel like they are breaking you are often the moments that are shaping you most profoundly. The heartbreak teaches empathy, the failure teaches humility, the loss teaches gratitude, and the struggle teaches perseverance. Life's harshest lessons are also life's most valuable teachers. When you embrace them rather than resist them, you become someone who does not merely survive, but someone who transforms adversity into advantage, weakness into strength, and doubt into conviction. And remember, resilience is not a solitary journey. Even the strongest among us rise with the help of others. Brokenness teaches us that it is okay to lean on people, to ask for support, and to allow connection to sustain us. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is the bridge to strength. When you share your story, when you open your heart to others, you create ripples of courage, empathy, and hope that extend far beyond yourself. Your brokenness, your struggle, your survival, becomes a beacon for others who are still lost in their own storms, showing them that it is possible to rise, to heal, and to thrive. And then there is the beauty of reinvention. Being broken gives you the rare chance to start over, not from scratch, but from experience. It gives you the wisdom to see what truly matters, the clarity to focus on what is essential, and the courage to discard what is not serving you. The life you rebuild can be stronger, richer, and more aligned with your deepest values than the life you had before. What once felt like a defeat becomes a foundation on which you can construct a future that is extraordinary in its purpose, in its passion, and in its authenticity. And here is the final truth. Brokenness is temporary, but transformation is permanent. The storm will pass. The pain will fade, the darkness will lift, and what remains is not the fear, not the sorrow, not the doubt, but the person who endured, the person who grew, the person who rose. That person is unstoppable, unshakable, and unapologetically alive. That person knows that life's trials are not punishments, but invitations inviting them to step fully into their potential, to live with courage, to lead with empathy, and to make a difference that outlasts themselves. So when life breaks you, do not fear it, do not resist it, do not shrink from it. Lean into it, learn from it, allow it to teach you, shape you, and elevate you. The cracks, the fractures, the broken pieces are not marks of failure. They are the blueprint for your emergence, the roadmap to your strength, and the gateway to the most powerful version of yourself.